Dark?
It's not that dark. Is the fan causing too much noise?
No.
Okay, it's just weird because it sounds like static to me.
Oh, no. I think your
Okay,
microphone's cutting it out.
you're cutting in and out.
Um,
You're not actually cutting in and out.
Sorry? I'm so confused what's happening now.
You better be sorry, not sorry. My mom's gonna hold on one second. So,
Okay.
yeah, hold on. Let me just.
Dun, dun, dun. Yep. We've
Anyway.
been...
No, so I logged. Yeah, I know. Perfect. Like this is audio quality. Awesome stuff. No, I logged onto the Mac and I was like, okay, I'll let them know that sorry I'm late. I'm ready to start recording, and I wasn't paying attention to what chat I was in, and so basically I texted my mom, sorry I'm late, I'm ready. Hit send, and I was like, oh shit, this is to my mom. I'll just delete the text. Maybe she won't see it. But then she was just literally like, "What's you text me?"
Nope. No, I did not.
So I was just like, "Oh, sorry, I was that was meant for Cody to start recording the podcast." And she just texted me back. I figured. I was like, "Okay,
Okay.
fair enough." Hmm,
Fair enough.
fair enough indeed. Make sure that doesn't spill over. That'd
Ah,
be
let it spill
terrible.
over. Let the
Yes,
world.
the
Let the
rug
world
also
burn.
needs some caffeine to stay awake.
Yeah. Let the world burn. Oh wait, what?
The world is burning on its own.
It's
I
true.
didn't start the fire,
How
but
do
I
we?
forgot the rest of the song.
How do we know that though, Joe? How do we know that though?
It would be way too much anxiety.
Where do you even start?
Where do you start? You start with little fires, you work your way up to big fires. I don't know. Speaking of fires,
Oh,
I actually have nothing this week. Like there wasn't a like there. Every time I would find something, I was like, oh yeah, Cody already texted that.
we can
So we'll just talk about that.
we can
So
talk
I
about
didn't
those
really save
things.
anything.
Um, just saw this article though. Stephen King adaptation The Monkey starring Theo James pre-sales to Neon for US after promo sparks buying tug of war at Cannes Market.
Wait, go over that again. That was a lot of words that for some reason my sleep deprived brain just did not latch onto a single one.
Joseph, were you up late last night?
Yes, I was having anxiety.
Oh, okay. About starting the fire?
I mean, it might help with insurance. I don't know.
Okay. So it says Stephen King adaptation The Monkey starring Theo James pre-sells to Neon for US after promo sparks buying tug of war the Cannes Market.
Okay, so the monkey is a Stephen King property I'm not aware of.
It's a short story that was in where was that one in? I don't remember which one that one happens to be in. Where was
Anyway,
that one? Anyhow,
so it's a short story of his that's being made. Then
apparently it's
who's
been made.
it's
And
been made?
yeah, and was they did a promo at the Cannes Film Festival, which is a thing that happens when you're trying to sell movies.
Okay, for some reason I was also thinking like Cons. What is it? Cons Warehouse or something like that. I was like, what are we doing here?
Um, it's got a pretty heavy cast. I mean, it's got two well-known people in it. Theo James, and Elijah Woods are both in it,
Oh damn,
and
Frodo's in it.
uh, Tatiana
Ali.
Maslany of
Oh,
She-Hulk fame, Colin O'Brien from Wonka. That's a weird pull for him, but okay. Sarah Levy, Christina Convery from Sweet Tooth. So the story roughly is, two brothers discover this mechanical monkey. You know, the one that like the clappers on. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
It was their father's in the attic, and basically, it's like a cursed relic, and like it, if you wind it up, someone close to you dies.
This actually does sound familiar.
And then the brothers decide they're gonna throw it away so no more lives are taken, and then over the years they grow apart. But mysterious deaths begin again, and the brothers must reunite to find a way to destroy the monkey for good before it takes the lives of everyone close to them.
It sounds like it'd be pretty easy. It sounds like it's an inanimate object.
And Theo James is playing the twins in later years, so he's playing both brothers.
Okay.
And then Convery plays the younger twins, and that's Convery is Christian Convery from Sweet Tooth, the kid from Sweet Tooth, the main kid.
Oh yeah.
He
have
plays
Netflix anymore, so I haven't watched season 2 of that.
So yeah, he will be. So Theo James will be playing the older twins, and then Christian will be playing the younger twins.
Yeah, now that you read more of that description, it does sound vaguely familiar. Like I've heard at least the description before. I don't think I've ever read that short. No, I've only read his Joe Hill's short stories book, so obviously I've never read it.
Yeah,
sounds interesting to me. I'm down for it. I'm down for all Stephen King properties. Just bring them all on.
Bring them all, bitches.
Bring them all on.
There's plenty out there, so.
There are plenty out there. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I just want some company to just like, let's just buy up all of his stuff, and we'll just make it. And we'll all make it just an interconnected web of Stephen King verse. It'd be awesome. All tied together by the Dark Tower.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
Interesting.
What?
Well, it's directed by a gentleman named Osgood Perkins.
Okay.
Who I was like, that name doesn't sound familiar, so I went to it, and his name is Oz Perkins on here. But he was the actor who played the young Norman Bates in Psycho 2.
Psycho? Oh.
But he directed the Hansel and Gretel movie. The
one with
No, the horror movie.
No, the horror movie. Oh,
came out
okay.
in
It wasn't
2020.
even the Hansel and Gretel movie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's called my bad. I said it wrong. It's called Gretel and Hansel is the one that he directed.
Then yes, it would have reminded me of the I was thinking of the wrong movie anyway. I was thinking of the Brothers Grimm.
Yeah, and then
I don't know why. It's a fantastic movie, but yeah.
Wait, the Brothers Grimm or Hansel and Gretel? Because Hansel and Gretel has
the Brothers Grimm. You said Hansel and Gretel, and for some reason my brain went, "Oh, Brothers Grimm." I don't know why.
Are you confusing the two movies?
No, I'm just saying that my brain went right there.
Okay, but who's in the movie you're thinking about?
Isn't it Matt Damon and?
Okay, yeah, it is, and Heath Ledger. Yeah,
and then whatever. I don't remember the other.
Because there's also Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
No. Yeah, I do forgot about that.
Yes, that movie's dope
I don't
too.
I don't think I've actually watched that one. I've just watched The Brothers Grimm.
Okay, Brothers Grimm is a fun movie.
To me, it's just a dumb good movie.
Yep. God damn, this little fucking gnat is gonna make me punch a baby.
Isn't it the worst? Like, I don't recall any previous year having such bad gnats.
It's fucking terrible, dude.
I'm very close to my parents bought one of these like little plug. They look like large Glade plugins, but they just attract the. They just use like the blue light to track the flies, and they're like, yeah, it works really good. And last time I was over at their house, they pull it out, and I was like, good God, that's just a mass grave.
We actually sell them at Best Buy.
Do we?
Yeah. What are they called? They have a weird name, right?
No, I have no idea what the name are. That's why I just remember them. I don't even have my phone on there or anything. thing. I'm
Savage.
I'm staring at a computer too, so I guess I can look it up on there.
But the reason the name popped out, Oz Perkins, and well, not the, but the face, is because I literally just watched a thing about it or read an article about him, which is funny because I didn't remember the name. But it has he did a movie called Long Legs that's coming out this year in July, and we just unfortunately just went and watched the newest Strangers movie, and it did have the trailer for this, and it looks fucking bizarre, dude. Like the trailer is.
Oh, you guys went and saw the Strangers prequel movie?
No, so it's not a prequel; it's a remake of a.
Oh, it's a remake?
Yeah, they're making a trilogy. Like the stories are connected. So if you don't know The Strangers, right? The movie The Strangers, the one that came out in 2008.
I just want to interrupt you for a second there, just to talk about, because like I totally forgot that movie was even out. I remember seeing commercials for it, and I swear to God, the way that they say it in the trailer was that this is what happens before.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because the movie's fucking terrible. So in 2008 they made the movie The Strangers, which is loosely based on Helter Skelter, with Charles Manson and stuff like that. Then they made a sequel to that, which wasn't really a sequel other than it was about the strangers because they didn't bring back the one surviving person from the first movie. Spoiler alert from the movie from 2008. Liv Tyler's character survives.
So doesn't live.
Does live. So in the sequel, the strangers pray at night. They go after a different group of people, and it's not great, but it's actually better than this new one. So this new one is a planned trilogy. They filmed 1 and 2 back to back or congruently. Actually, I think they filmed at the same time. And essentially, the first one is essentially a reimagining of the original from 2008 with Liv Tyler and Scott Spedman, and Glenn Howerton. If nobody remembers, he's in that before his face gets blown off by a shotgun. Spoiler alert. And so they basically essentially remade the original. Like I think they were trying to pay like homage to it with a lot of the things they were doing. They just did it very poorly, and it wasn't very well done, and the acting was borderline horrific. But anyhow, this movie he has coming out called Long Legs. I'll send you the trailer, Joe, if I remember, because it's fucking weird. But what I didn't know about it just now, which is the reason I'm bringing it up, is Nicolas Cage is in it.
Oh.
And we watched the trailer for this when we saw The Strangers Chapter 1, and I don't remember it saying Nicolas Cage in the credits, but that's cool.
I kind of want to see this now.
Yeah, the if looks fucking bonkers.
I mean, it's a Nicolas Cage movie. It has to be bonkers.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if this references where the property came from. The short story. Skeleton Crew. That's where it was from.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where I was like, I know this. I read this one not too long ago. Yeah. Damn, there's been how many adaptations from this? The Raft has been done in Creepshow 2. The Word Processor of the Gods was in a Tales from the Dark Side episode. That's cool. I gotta find that one. Grandma was in Twilight Zone. In 2014, loosely adapted film called Mercy, starring Chandler Riggs and Dylan McDermott. That's supposed to be based on Grandma? Huh. Interesting. Obviously, The Mist. If you haven't read that or seen the movie or the TV show.
Movie. Never read it.
And then Survivor Type was in the 2019 Creepshow series. The main character voiced by Kiefer Sutherland. It was an animated one. And The Jaunt. Oh shit! Really? That's exciting.
What is?
The Jaunt will be made into a feature film produced by Plan B Entertainment, which is Brad Pitt's company, with Andy Muschietti set to direct.
Nice.
That's fucking cool as hell.
Right?
So many of these have been adapted. That's fucking wild. But yeah, so it was released in Rolling Stone magazine in 1984 was the original production or release of the monkey. Um, and then so that's interesting. That's cool. Cool.
Very cool.
I just found that article right now. I was like searching for stuff, and Deadline had it, and I was like, there's a lot of key words in that title that I enjoy,
Right.
and they are Stephen King, Theo James, and movies. So, and Neon has a pretty high tendency to have some fucked up films.
All right.
So that's cool.
Definitely is.
Cool. Let's see. What did I send? I just sent a shit ton of stuff this week. So they're rebooting Matlock with Kathy Bates. I don't know if you saw that trailer I sent to Mike. I don't know why I sent it to Mike in general, but I think
I didn't recall, but I guess that depends on when you sent it. You and him were going back and forth at like some ungodly hours.
yeah. Well, this I just sent it just now, right before I sent the message to you.
Oh yeah. I see that now.
I was making dinner.
Good for them. Those types of shows are just making a weird comeback now. Obviously, they've been remaking The Equalizer. What, 2 different times now? The Denzel Washington show, and then
Denzel Washington was movies.
Denzel Washington movie, Queen Latifah's show.
Yeah.
Which is it's still running? I think I've seen commercials for it here and there.
I think they might have just canceled it.
Did
I could be wrong though, or just got renewed. I'm not too sure. I don't watch it because I watched like a little bit of it from the other room, and I was like, oh no.
Like at this point, I'm just waiting for the. Oh wait, no, they did reboot MacGyver. Shit.
Yeah.
I was going to start rattling off a bunch of 70s and 80s shows, and I'm like, they're just going to start rebooting. And MacGyver was the first one that came to mind, and it was like, oh wait, they did do that. Quantum Leap, they rebooted
and canceled.
And canceled, but rebooted. So it just seems like they're taking these old properties and
What
just
was
like, can we update these things?
Oh, they redid Magnum PI.
Oh, that's right, they did.
Yeah. Hawaii 5-0 was redone.
Yep. Like I said, I'm just waiting for Macmillan and Wife, and aren't they rebooting Columbo as well already?
Oh, they might. I don't know. Are they?
Oh, I swear that I heard something about Columbo. That one.
I don't know. Do I know how to spell equalizer? I do. Okay, good. I was like, man, Wikipedia is just failing me.
Maybe that was a fever dream.
There we go.
It would be one of the hardest shows, in my opinion, to reboot because of what's his name had such a weird way of playing it. You know, he has such a weird way of talking and personality. It'd be like trying to replace. I had his name for a second there. More cowbell.
Will Ferrell?
Nope. Anyway. Oh wait, that was Will Ferrell. That's right. No.
Well, I mean, Christopher Walken was the one that
Christopher Walken
famous.
Is who I'm thinking of, yeah. It'd be like trying to replace Christopher Walken in any of his roles. It's like no one talks like him. How do you remake something that he's in? You know.
I don't know if marketing, Germany broadcast. I don't know. I think I heard something about maybe it got renewed. I don't remember, but it doesn't matter. I watched part of it one time, and I was like, oh, nah, I'm good, thanks, though. Because they made it like I mean, obviously it's based on an original show from 1985-ish.
I want to say earlier than that.
It might be.
You might be right.
I can't remember. I want to say it was the mid-'80s.
I'm going to go late 70s is when it's... No, I'm going to go early 80s. I will say it started in 1981.
Let's pull it up. I just typed in... let's see, Equalizer. Haha, 1985. Fuck you, Joe.
Damn it.
Ran for 4 years.
Only 4 years?
Yep.
I used to watch that as a kid. It was something that my dad liked watching as well, so I watched it. It right up there with Airwolf.
Hell yeah, dude.
That was like the things to watch back then. But it's one of those things that 4 seasons. I guess that's enough depending on how many episodes they have. That's just one of those things where it feels like there were more episodes of it. It's like watching the Mr. Bean show.
88 episodes.
Yeah, I guess that's enough.
Let's see. There's quite a few. This is back in the day when they actually made lots of shows. 22 the first season, so that'll tell you something.
Right.
And then the new movie The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt is a remake of a TV show.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, or not a remake, but a fucking adaptation. Yeah, so it was a TV show way back in the I want to say also in the 80s. Actually, I can tell you right now. I'm on my phone looking at stuff. The Fall Guy, 2024 film. Apparently it's been a couple movies there. That's fucking weird.
Oh shit, Anna Waddingham is in it.
Yeah, she plays the agent.
That's awesome.
Is it called Fall Guy? Is the show called Fall Guy?
Yeah, the Fall Guy TV series, 1981 to 1986.
Yeah, that's the one.
IMDb, created by Glenn Larson, Lee Majors. Oh, okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Motherfucking Lee Majors.
Right?
Trying to see if I recognize anybody else.
I just thought it was cool that,
Nope, I don't recognize anybody else. You might. I don't.
Well, I mean, I do know because I watched the show back in the day with my papa.
Yeah, this is one that I never watched.
But it's cool because I did read an article earlier and I just found it on Wikipedia because I was looking it up again. Lee Majors and Heather Thomas, who starred in the original TV series, have cameo appearances in the film as prop crew members, dressed as police officers. That's pretty funny.
I love that when they do that.
Yep.
That's a movie that I want to go see. It looks like it's just going to be dumb fun.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's directed by David Leitch. Leitch, whatever you want to fucking call his name.
Or something like that,
yeah. I can remember. But it has Ryan Gosling, who's awesome in pretty much everything. Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Winston Duke of should be more popular than he is, but he was in Black Panther 1 and 2. He was in that the oh my god, what was the name of it? Us movie?
The movie Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, Us. Yeah.
He was the husband in that one, husband and father.
That's where I know his name from.
Yeah.
Okay. You say that he should be more popular, and I'm like, I know his name, so that means he's popular enough. I just don't remember what he's in.
He also voiced Batman in an audio series.
Not to go off on another tangent, but speaking of audio series, I'm told that apparently Audible has been doing, and I knew about this for a while, but I didn't because I heard like a year or so ago that Marvel was testing with translating some of their comic books to audiobooks.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was still going on, and that they're getting around to doing, I think, like Civil War and stuff like that right now. My brother was listening to them. He says it's actually really good, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
That's wild.
That is wild, because I'd totally listen to that. I don't know if you have to pay for it, though. He has an Audible subscription, so I have no idea if it's something you can buy or if it's free.
Well, Audible gives it to you for free if you have a subscription, I'm pretty sure, because they have a lot of free stuff. And I just found out.
But like, I know Marvel has also been doing stuff with a company called Stitcher for the longest time. That's been doing like original stuff, but you can get it for free through the podcast app on Apple. So I don't know if that's what I mean. I don't know if you can get it everywhere.
Do you know what else you can get on Stitcher on Apple?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you know what else you can get on Stitcher on Apple?
No, because I don't actually.
This podcast.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, that's.
So if you're using the Stitcher app, you can hear.
Yeah,
I mean there's Audible has a lot of free stuff you can get, but they also have like a plus catalog. I'm not promoting. They're not sponsored content or whatever. But if they would like to sponsor us, I'll let them pay me money.
You know that we can sign up for their sponsorship, right?
Yeah, I know, and I probably should. God
Probably should.
damn fucking bug. Anyways, but they have a thing called, I mean, you can tell your brother, I don't know if he knows about this, called the Plus catalog, and it's a bunch of books that are free, to read or listen to, and they're like, and they rotate pretty often, but it's not like it's unknown like things. Like for example, let's go in here because I know this popped up because I was interested in it because I might actually download it and listen to it. So there's a book on here, and I don't know if this will trigger anything in your brain. It's called The Watchers.
Well, I mean, if we're talking Marvel, I know what the Watchers are.
No, so The Watchers is a book written by a person named A.M. Shine. I'm not too sure if it's a male or female because I don't know. But it is now being adapted into a movie by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
Okay, I do vaguely remember.
Yeah, it comes out fairly soon. But I was like, oh, it's a pretty cool premise for like a movie. And I was like, and then I saw the trailer. When I watched it, that said adapted for screen by and directed by, and then her name, and I was like, wait, adapted for screen means it's from another content.
Yes.
So I looked it up, and it was a book, and then I found out it was on the Plus catalog, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and read that because yes, please.
Right.
Anyways, so you can if Adam is interested, he can go on here and look at there, and then there's a handful of on here. There's even there's a Dean Koontz book. There's a bunch of different ones on there. There's like if he wants to read Fellowship of the Ring, it's on there. 1984 by George Orwell is on here. And I believe it has there's a bunch of different stuff on there, but they'll release these like crazy like amount of books, and like 2 months ago there was like a bunch of fantasy books, like very popular ones, including the Red Rising books.
Oh.
Like completely free on here. Like you didn't have to pay any extra. There's is this the one that has? And then this one there's one produced by Audible Originals, which is free in general, but it's also in the Plus catalog. It's George Orwell's 1984, but it's a full cast and includes Andrew Garfield.
That's dope.
Yeah. So like that's pretty cool. So like that's on there. Like there's the Red Rising book is on here, so the first one. So if he wants to check that one out and do it, Outlander, which is based on which a TV show is based on, and there's like a bunch. There's Brandon Sanderson has a couple books on here. But yeah, so there's a bunch of cool ones if he wants to check it out. The Road, by Cormac McCarthy, the one that one movie's based on with Hugo Weaving. Or not Hugo Weaving. Not Hugo Weaving. What's the guy? Not Hugo Weaving. What's his name? Viggo Mortensen is his name. So like that's pretty cool if you want to let him know about that, or anybody listening, if you have Audible, which by the way I believe you can also get our podcast on. Our podcast is everywhere. But yeah, they have a lot of stuff. Like you can even read The Art of War or listen to Art of War, which is bonkers to me that it's on there. But
yes, we are available on Audible.
See, I told you.
I think it's not yet rated. Not rated yet. Sorry.
So if you want to be the first to rate us on there, hopefully it's a good rating. But yeah, so they have like there's those that like I said there's multiple categories. Mystery and thrillers, sci-fi and fantasy, bios and memoirs. Then there's self-development, which is where Art of War is at, which is, I guess, where it should be. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can just read or listen to for free. The Dolly Parton book is on here. Mike
would love that.
Right? He loves Dolly Parton.
Right.
So yeah, so that's pretty cool. if you want to, if someone wants to check it out, it's a fun little thing. But like, yeah, there's a lot of like, there's a ton of books on there for free. Plus, Audible has a ton of Audible originals. Like this one, Joe, you might actually like. It's called Moriarty.
Oh yeah, no, I think I listened to that one.
Yeah,
'Cause
and it
was
has
way back
like
in the day.
Dominic Monaghan in it, Billy Boyd, Phil Lamar,
Mhm.
and it's like it's got multiple episodes, and like I downloaded the first one. I think I was about to start it, and then something came out. Like one of the books I pre-ordered came out, and I was like, I'll get to this eventually. It's free on here, so yeah, it's pretty rad that they have those on there. And there's, like I said, there's a fuck ton of them. There's so many.
Yeah.
A James Patterson book that has the cover at least has who looks to be fucking dude. Oh, it is Aaron Paul. The fuck is this, a Breaking Bad book? Aaron Paul and Kristen Ritter?
Be weird.
Does it have Walter White in it? That's fucking wild. But yeah, like this one is like it's a prequel book of some sort. So I don't know what the Bill Harmony thriller series is from him, but I don't think I've ever read a James Patterson book in my life.
No, I've never.
But yeah, so there's a bunch of cool stuff on there. You can go through and read. There's like a lot of things that I've heard of on here, and like stuff like source material stuff. But yeah, like I said, like a Brandon Sanderson book. He writes fucking ton of books. But yeah, so there's a bunch of that stuff on there too. So if you want to do that, but yeah, back to what we were talking about before, the free stuff on there and things like that you can get. There's a ton of Audible originals that they make on there. There's also a series called Words in Music, I think it's called, and it's like kind of like little miniature biographies of artists.
Mm-hmm.
And they're completely free. Like the like Green Day, or well, Billy Joe Armstrong did one, and he talks about kind of like his life and how he got into music, and then they'll perform songs and stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Anyhow, that was that. What did you say? Oh, why me?
What did I say?
Oh, Mike said why me. I was like, I don't know. I thought for some reason that you'd be interested in that because he likes Kathy Bates, I think.
Yeah, I just call him an old soul.
Yeah.
He likes those old like westerns and stuff, so I figured that he'd probably like
old crime dramas.
Murder, She Wrote as well. Or not Murder, She Wrote, whatever it was.
I would almost say Murder, She Wrote, and a better one for Kathy Bates.
Matlock, sorry.
But Matlock is what they did, yeah.
What was it? Murder, She Wrote, like
Angela Lansbury.
It's still going on up until like a couple of years ago, or it got. Was that another one that got rebooted?
Oh God, I don't know.
Murder, She Wrote. Ended in '96. That actually went longer than I thought. Or like they came out with like they rebooted it, or I could have swore maybe I'm just having weird fever dreams.
I think you are
where it's just like rebooting weird shows that I'd never watched as a kid.
I mean, that wouldn't shock me that they rebooted it, but I don't think that I have never heard of them doing it.
Because I could have swore I saw something about them doing like another season or something like that.
Maybe.
But I'm not. Well, maybe if I go to Wikipedia. Save me, Wikipedia.
Save him, Wikipedia. Be his savior.
Also means I'm not going crazy.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, there was a movie in 2003. Last aired 2003. According to this. That might be what I'm remembering. Which was still a while ago. Oh, Funko Pop did a release in 2020. That's kind of funny.
Hell yeah, dude.
On September 9th, 2023, it was revealed that a film adaptation of the series is in early stages of development at Universal Pictures. Dumb Money screenwriters Lauren Schuker Blum and Rebecca Angelo will write the script while Amy Pascal acts as producer. I'm right. As of last year, they are doing a movie.
Interesting. I don't.
Right?
I mean, it's. You could, and it's just going to be like one long episode.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
They just need to do it like The Onion. Or whatever. Is that the name of the movie? No, that was the name of the second movie.
What else did I see?
Anyway, what else did you say for this week?
What else did I send this week that is worth talking about? See all. Don't need to send that. Assassin's Creed Shadow is what I think it's called. It's the new Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan with a samurai who's not Japanese. Donnie Yen is going to reprise his role as Kane in a spin-off movie from John Wick.
Nice.
I sent the trailer for Dune Prophecy, which is the prequel series for Dune.
Which I did watch, and I must say, it looks like they just used the same sets from the movie, I imagine.
So apparently...
And also, it looks like the movie. Like,
yeah.
It just looks like the movie.
Yeah, apparently they filmed it at the same time.
Okay, that would make sense.
Like, I could look into it, but I saw an article saying that, like, the second unit production team for Dune part 1 and part 2 were who made this.
And that's why it has the same look and feel as the movies, which I think is absolutely fantastic because, I mean, it looks expensive to produce, but if you're literally filming at the same time that you're already doing the other stuff, it probably helps save on a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks fantastic. I'm so down for this. I can't wait.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, hell yeah, dude. Oh, and speaking of which, if you want to watch Dune Part 2 at home, it comes out on Max on the 21st.
Okay.
Which means you can watch Part 1 and Part 2 back to back.
That's like 6 hours.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait. They need to release a thing where I can just, like, play back to back. I don't have to fucking go back and find it.
That would be interesting if they would do something like that. If they had the ability to just, like, it just has to be an extra button when you're watching movies that have sequels. You just, like, play all.
Yeah, like play next or whatever.
One to the next to the next.
Yeah,
like, maybe even cuts out the credits.
Like a TV show does.
Like a TV show does, yeah. You know? And you're just, bam, just watching the whole thing. Lord of the Rings, here we come.
Extended editions, go.
Extended editions. I've been meaning to do that.
I'll see you guys in a week.
I've never seen the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, or even The Hobbit.
I haven't seen the extended editions.
Just sit down there and just waste away a couple of days of just watching those.
Taj and I did a one-day watch through of the extended Lord of the Rings movies.
And I bet it was glorious.
We literally ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner together and watched those movies. It was a literal all-day thing. It was fucking ridiculous. It was so fucking cool, dude. So fucking cool.
To do that, yeah.
Back in the day when I actually had free time. Let's see.
I know, right?
2 new members of Fantastic Four have been announced. John Malkovich and I forget her name. What is her name? Natasha something or other.
Thought I had it.
Leone. Natasha Leone. Both are in, as of right now, as I remember, I don't know if they've announced it or not, but they're both in untitled roles, which I made a joke about Natasha Leone if they cast her as Ben Grimm's love interest after he becomes the Thing, because that'd be her second blind character she played in the or in the Marvel property, because she played a blind character in Blade Trinity.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously you'd be playing a blind person in this one. And the reason I say that is because it's funny because she has played a blind character in a Marvel property, but also I believe she's a New Yorker, and that character from comic books is from New York, so it just kind of like fits and stuff. But I don't know.
I just want John Malkovich to play John Malkovich.
I want him to. It's weird because I want him to, like, for some reason I want him to play Stan Lee.
Oh.
like going forward, because we're in the territory where Stan Lee would have made cameos in like the Marvel properties that are, or the Fox properties that are now Marvel properties.
Mm-hmm.
So like have him, like, I don't know why this was the thing I thought of, but I was like, have him do the cameos that were played by Stan Lee. So he'd like be the post guy. In this one, he'd be like the guy. Like I don't know. It's just weird to me because like then in like because Stan Lee never showed up in the X-Men movies, right? Did he? In the Bryan Singer ones?
Not that I can recall.
I know he was in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and obviously a bunch of the Marvel movies.
Maybe he was in Fantastic Four as well, and he was also in the Hulk movie.
Yeah.
From back in the day. The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah. Because him and Lou Ferrigno.
Mr. Ferrigno.
Yeah. So I just thought that was funny. I forgot to text you guys, but I was like, that's hilarious. House of Dragon season 2.
It would be really cool though if they actually leaned into that role, as in like, because there was always a speculation of like, yeah, it's a cameo role for him to do as haha fun, but like, really, he's just like a watcher or something that's just, watching the events as they unfold, and they just lean into it now.
Well, because James Gunn did a little fun thing in Guardians where you see him talking to a watcher as an astronaut, and like and telling basically, if I remember correctly, the way it was set up is it was supposed to be like him reciting all the things he saw to a watcher as that person through all those different cameos. Wasn't he a janitor in one in Stanley? Didn't he play a janitor in
Spider-Man? It was the one where he's fighting somebody through a school.
Yeah, was it?
And Stanley has his headphones on.
Yeah. And he catches the desk at one point that's about to hit him in the back of the head.
Was it the Lizard? So that was...
was it Andrew Garfield?
The Lizard it was an Andrew Garfield movie then. Yeah.
So Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah. Which would be the first one, because I never actually saw the second one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It wasn't very good. They pulled a classic too many villains in a movie. And they try to put in all these tentpole things. They're like, hey, let's throw in all these cool like things that like happen. Like we'll have the Gwen Stacy death, and we'll have all. I'm like, or I don't know. You could take your time and make a good set of movies.
Right.
No.
Introduce all these villains, slowly, and then do a team up movie.
Because Sony's like, we can do a Sinister Six movie, so we're gonna cram half those villains into this movie.
Exactly.
Fucking idiots. Sorry. Anyways, let's see what else did I send. Jeopardy's doing a spin-off.
The second season of Game of Thrones.
House of the Dragon.
House of Dragon. I haven't watched the first season, so it's cool that it's second season, but
yeah, I
don't know, nothing else I can talk about it. Donald Glover not being in Mr. and Mrs. Smith season 2, which is a weird thing. So I don't look. I'm gonna be flat out and say I didn't watch the movie. It didn't seem like something I was gonna watch. Didn't watch the TV series either, so I have no idea what's going on. But maybe you can enlighten me then on this. Why is Donald Glover leaving?
We don't know. So it's
they're like that.
Him and her are not expected to return, but there's been no word about it yet whatsoever. Because Prime Video has this very like weird thing where they don't really announce like second seasons of stuff until it almost seems like it should be coming out already. It's just weird the way they do it. Or they're on the one where like right before it premieres, they're like, "Hey, season 2 coming." You're like, I haven't even seen a single bit of season 1 yet. And then if they do announce the season 2, it seems like it takes forever to get it.
Oh yeah.
But and then sometimes it doesn't seem like it's like you forget, like The Boys, for example, right? It does. It seems like it's been like 2 years between each season, but it hasn't been.
Carnival Row,
yeah.
Invincible, yeah. All of those have just felt like, man, when was season 1? Wasn't that a couple of years ago?
Yeah, and then you turn out it's like, no, it was last year.
Yeah.
Well, Carnival Row wasn't. Carnival
Row was
handful
actually
of years.
like a couple of years in between season 1 and season 2.
think COVID actually ruined that for most of us.
It did. It did.
Excuse the yawn. Let's
But
see.
so there's no. Is there any narrative reason why they would be leaving? Because are they treating this as maybe like an anthology series where one season is just one Mr. and Mrs. and then
It could be. So, it's weird because like they did such a really good job with the show, especially based on a premise like the movie featuring Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Because in that it's a different way of doing the story too. Because in the Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie, featuring Brad and Angelina, they're both spies, but for two different organizations. One is an all dudes organization, one's an all ladies organization, and they find out of each other, and because they're essentially husband and wife, but also like competing spy companies, their prospective companies just like tell them to like you need to eliminate that other person because you could be compromised. And then they go against that order and decide to take down the prospective companies. It's a cool movie because it's like super actiony, but this one is a little different. So in this one, they take it to a different level. What I mean by that is they are a married couple, but it's a fake marriage set up by the company they work for.
Okay.
So they're two operatives that basically get chosen to be moved into this new role, and then they get pushed together and they get a backstory and all the fun stuff. And then you find out that there's other Mr. and Mrs. Smiths that work for this company, and then there's different categories of the Mr. and Mrs. Smiths.
So this leans into the fact that they could be like an anthology thing, where every season is a different mission, a different group, a different couple.
Yeah. So basically, there's in this one, it's basically they start off as fresh agents or fresh Mr. and Mrs. Smiths, and they're basically learning the trade, this new role that they're in, and then you find out. So when the show first starts, Alexander Skarsgård is in it. And he is playing a Mr. Smith, and him and his wife are attacked by somebody. Spoiler alert: they're attacked by another Mr. and Mrs. Smith, whose their job they are the highest level, and their jobs you find out again. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen it, and Joe will forget this by the time he ever gets around to watching it.
Already forgot it.
That you meet the second set you meet, because you don't know that they're Mr. and Mrs. Smith until later on when it's revealed that they are. Donald Glover and his Mrs. Smith, they meet another Mr. and Mrs. Smith that their job is to eliminate Mr. and Mrs. Smiths that go rogue.
That's some weird inception there.
Yeah, so basically there's like this hierarchy, right? And so you find out about this, and then there's a split because Donald Glover's character, he hasn't fully like committed to everything, and he's still in touch with his like family, which is obviously a no go.
Right.
But also he keeps fucking up on missions, and so at one point, the handler, which they call Mr. Hi because every time they get it's through a computer, and every time that they interact with them, it says hi is the first message they get.
Okay.
So they don't know who this person is or whatever, and so they literally refer to as hi is the name of the handler and communication thing. Anyways, so they have to write after mission reports or whatever, right? And then they get these like questionnaires, and hi asks her, do you want a different Mr. Smith, because they're having problems like relationship wise, because they kind of like fall in love in a way, but also like he's fucking up real bad, and she's like, you're gonna ruin this for us. And so like they're like, all right, cool, eliminate your Mr. Smith. And she's like, what now?
Right. That wasn't the response I was looking for.
And then something happens, and then she goes fucking full tilt and goes right after him. And at one point she goes after his mom, and he's like, oh hell no. Because at this point he has 3 fails, which means he's out of the program. And then so he's just gonna leave. Like he leaves, and she's like, "No, I have to take you out." So she like goes after him, and like she sets a trip mine at his mom's house, and he's like, "Oh bitch, no," and he goes right back after it. It's cool. And then they basically get attacked, or they get tasked, or they are tasked to be killed by this other Mr. and Miss Smith group, and so that's kind of like where the first season ends. Is they're fighting back against this higher couple, and they kill they kill the Mr. Smith, and Mrs. Smith is got them basically trapped in their panic room, and then it goes to a outside scene of them getting ready to confront her, and the camera switches to the outside of the building. All you see is gun flashes, and like bullets, and then that's literally how the show ends.
Okay.
The first season ends.
It's a cliffhanger.
Yeah. So like, in a way, they make it sound like they're not gonna survive, but because like Donald Glover's like his character is like got a gut shot that's not doing so great, and they have a gun that has like one round left in it, and she's outside with like a fully loaded submachine gun. So it's pretty gnarly, and there's multiple gunshots that go off, so you're like, you don't know who is shooting what, obviously, but anyhow,
right?
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. But
it's pretty cool.
The final thing that you had posted here to us, at least final, what I'm saying, that I saw is interesting, is that Amazon is producing a Tomb Raider TV series written by Fleabag's Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Yeah, baby.
That's cool.
Yeah, so
I'm all for that. I'm not huge into the video. Well, no, I was huge into reboot video games, so I love those. And I actually really liked the newer movie that they made of it with Alicia Vanderwall, right?
Something like that, Vanderwickle or something.
Something like that.
Whatever her name is, yeah.
I just think it's funny that it's obviously she's doing a Tomb Raider show, and the picture that they show is her from Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Very heavily inspired from. So I thought that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm down for that. I love them adventure things.
Yeah, it's interesting, and there's I couldn't find any more details about it because I guess they just signed the spec thing for it. So pretty interesting. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Is Kathy Bates with a C or a K?
C, I believe.
Whatever. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong.
Google to the rescue.
Is it K or C? I want to say it's C, right?
I want to say it's C.
But Kathy Bates, the name Kathy is usually with a K though, right?
Oh, it is with a K.
Okay. Because her name, like her, well, I don't know if her real name's Kathy.
It is with K, Kathy Bates.
Okay.
But Catherine, no, isn't Catherine also? I don't know. People spell their names all weird and stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like the English version of Kathy is Catherine, or Kathy is usually with a K, I think too, or maybe it's a C. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. You can spell your name however you want and make it fucking terrible. But yeah, there's also Nicolas Cage is starring in a live-action Spider-Man noir series.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm down for that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that came in from the Upfront stuff that happened just recently, which is a marketing thing for studios to go and sell sell advertisement to people, which is weird because it's getting more traction in the media because it's kind of turned into like this miniature, like, we're going to drop promos thing. Mm-hmm. Because it's all about like, hey, this year or this coming fiscal year or whatever, right? So the next like 2 cycles, this is the content we have coming up. And so a lot of this stuff is like, hey, we have this show planned with Nicolas Cage based on his character that he voiced in this movie, which is weird that it's going to Amazon and not like Sony. But then I realized Sony doesn't have a streaming platform of any sort. Like, they're the only real company that hasn't really signed on to one, and they're just like parceling their shit out to everybody else. But like, it's weird that like it went to Prime and not like Disney.
Yeah, that is weird.
Because like Disney has like obviously like a good track record with them, but then Sony also is like kind of I can't talk, money hungry and kind of like money whores when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's not that shocking that they would go somewhere else. And Amazon probably is like, hey, we have a couple like $100 million we can just like
Here's all the
wave in
money
front
that
of
we're
them.
not using to finish The Expanse.
Yeah, exactly. All the money we saved not making a fan favorite show that like I'm pretty sure a second petition was signed to save.
Not only a second petition, but I remember right after they canceled it, they were like, "Hey, what show do you want us to bring back?" on Twitter, and everybody was like, "The Expanse."
And they're like, we've never heard of that before.
God, I hate it so much. Anyway.
Anywho, right when it started to get like really good too, like all
Right.
that stuff, because we like obviously James gets like taken and like he's gonna go to Lacona, like all this. Oh, dude, it fucking makes me so mad now that I'm thinking about it again. Thanks, Joe, for bringing that up.
You're welcome. Hey, it lives rent free in my head.
So you gonna shit on my fucking mental state?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Misery loves company.
I have heard that before.
Uh huh.
Is that why there's so many miserable people?
Yeah.
Oh,
Probably.
okay. That's fair. That's fair. I think that's it for this week's episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. That has been this week's episode of Comes Naturally. We have been
Joe.
I have been Cody, and as usual, you fuckers just came naturally.
Bye.
Bye.